IRS Form 8809, Application for Extension of Time to File Information Returns. So you can file this form or extension request online through the IRS website, or you can file paper copies of this form. Depending on the type of extension you're requesting and the type of information return that you're requesting this extension for, you may have to file the paper version of IRS Form 8809. So this is why we're producing this video, so we can walk through the instructions step by step. So what we'll do is we'll outline the step-by-step details of this form, and then we'll kind of go through some of the filing considerations, such as what type of tax forms it applies to, certain conditions that may apply, and the amount of time that you can request an extension for. So let's go ahead and start at the very top of this form, and we'll just use our hero, John Doe, who is filing this extension request on behalf of his company, Doe Enterprises. So if you're filing paper, then obviously you should use black ink as instructed right here on the form. So you, in line 1, you'll enter either the payer's or the filer's information, whatever the entity is that is filing this extension request. So in this case, Doe Enterprises, we've listed his address as 1000 Main Street, Anytown, Texas. Point of contact is John Doe. We've listed his phone number with his email address in the case IRS wants to contact him. As a general rule, the IRS does not email people. However, there may be back and forth correspondence that occurs. So they request an email address for informational purposes. In line 2, we're going to enter the taxpayer identification number. Usually this is going to be some sort of an employer ID number. If you're not required to have an employer ID number, then you can use your Social Security number under the instructions. In line 3, you're going to check the method that you use to file information returns. You can only check one box, either electronic or paper. If you do file some information returns electronically and some via paper, then you're going to have to use a separate Form 8809 for each type of request. If you're only requesting an extension for one payer or filer, then you do not need to complete line 4. However, if you're requesting an extension for more than one payer or filer, then you would enter the number of filers, and then you need to attach a type list of names and taxpayer ID numbers. So there's a little bit more detail in the how to file section right here. Basically, the how to file section kind of goes into a little bit more detail on the different ways that you can file online. But I did not see a whole lot of detail about, how this pertains to line 4. So, and there's no specific line instructions here for line 4. So these instructions were a little unclear on that. But suffice it to say, if you have multiple filers or multiple payers, you would enter that information here. If there's only one, you can leave this box blank. You would check the box in box 5 if you've already requested an automatic extension and you now need an additional extension. So if you apply online, you can automatically get an automatic 30-day extension for just about any tax form except for a Form W-2 or a Form 1099-NEC. Those you have to request an extension via paper. However, you can apply online, and if you've gone through that process and you still need additional time, then you're going to need to complete the paper copy of the form to request that additional extension. So this isn't the automatic extension. This is an additional extension which you may request. But if you check the box in line 5, you will have to complete some information. You'll have to provide some sort of a justification as outlined in line 7. So in line 6, we're going to put check marks next to the boxes that apply. You don't need to enter the number of returns, just the type of return. So Form W-2, if you're requesting an extension for Form W-2 and 1099 NEC, you would do that, right? So if you're submitting information about health tax credit or the healthcare premium enrollment, things of that nature, that would be under this, the 1095C and 1095B. If you're an account custodian, then you would be completing one of these different 5498 fields. 5498 by itself is IRA contribution. The 5498 ESA is for Coverdell ESA accounts. The QA would be for ABLE accounts, and then the SA would be for either a health savings plan, an Archer MSA, or a Medicare Advantage MSA. So we break down all of these different forms and the types in our article if you need a little bit more background. Plus, we also have links to relevant articles and videos, both in our article and the show notes. Finally, in line 7, if you are requesting an extension for either your Form W-2 or 1099 NEC, or if you check the box in line 5, and this is your additional extension, then you need to provide some sort of justification. So the justifications that the IRS will accept would be something along the lines of uncontrollable or unanticipated circumstances. So I'll just read them in order. 1, the filer suffered a catastrophic event in a federally declared disaster area, and this event made the filer unable to resume operations, or it made the necessary records unavailable to the filer. 2, a fire, casualty, or a natural disaster affected the operations of the filer. 3, there was a death, serious illness, or unavoidable excuse of the individual that's responsible for filing the information returns, and this impacted the operation of the filer. 4, the filer was in the first year of establishment. Or 5, there was certain information on a payee statement that the filer did not receive in time to prepare an accurate information return. This could be from Schedule K1, Form 1042S, or a statement of sick pay as required under the Internal Revenue Code and Treasury regulations. So you have to be able to select one of these 5, and then you have to sign this under a declaration of perjury. So if you're requesting the automatic request through the IRS website, you would go to https //fire FIRE.irs.gov. Now this is the File Information Returns Electronically, or FIRE system, where you can request an automatic 30-day extension for most tax forms. What is not included would be Form W-2, 1099 NEC, 1099 QA, and 5498 QA. And if you forget, it's right here in the instruction, plus it's also in our article. So we kind of go over all of this in our article. And again, if you're requesting an additional 30-day extension on top of your automatic extension, then you have to file paper copy. So there's the IRS address where you would send your completed paper form to the Department of Treasury, the IRS office in Ogden, Utah. And we do cover other things such as the due dates, the original due dates of these information returns, either on paper or by electronic means. Generally speaking, paper copies are due earlier than the electronic versions. So pay attention to that. There are late filing penalties. They range from $60 per late return to $630, and that's for a very extreme disregard for the recipient. So that's per return. So if you are managing, a few hundred people, this could be a very expensive mistake for you. So we do cover this a little bit more in detail, plus all of the filing considerations in our article. If you check out our website, simply go to teachmepersonalfinance.com, type in IRS form 8809, and you'll see this form appear. One last consideration: do not use this form to request an extension for your regular business income tax return. You would need to use IRS form 7004 as stated up here at the very top. So also, if you're looking to file an individual tax return, you would not use this. We did put links in the show notes for those forms if you needed to go somewhere else. So again, if you like our articles, please subscribe to our newsletter. And if you like our YouTube videos, please subscribe to our YouTube channel. If you have any questions or comments, please post them in the comment section, and I'll see what I can do to help you out. Thank you very much, and have a great day.